Hi, this is Miss Felice. In this video, we are going to talk about unit rates. Let's start with an example question. Before I even tell you what a unit rate is, let's take a look at this question. A copier machine can print 405 paper copies in 9 minutes. How many copies can the machine print per minute? Well, what operation does it sound like we're going to need to use here? 405 paper copies in 9 minutes, but I want to know how many copies per minute. This is division. So what we would do is take 405 copies and divide by 9 so that we can see how many copies per 1 minute. So we start dividing. 9 does not go into 4, but 9 can go into 40 4 times, because 4 times 9 is 36. 40 minus 36 is 4. Now I bring down the 5. 9 goes into 45 5 times, because 5 times 9 is 45. We subtract and we are done. So there is our answer. The machine can make 45 copies per minute. This, what we just did, we found a unit rate. By figuring out that the machine can make 45 copies per minute is determining the unit rate of paper copies per minute. So let's talk about rates and unit rates. A rate is a ratio that compares quantities with different units. So when I say different units, I mean, for example, what we just did was a rate. The problem gave us the rate of 405 copies per 9 minutes. Copies and minutes are different units. So that was a rate. Now when we have rates, we usually write it as a fraction. We could also do something like it costs $45 to buy 3 shirts. That would be a rate, $45 per 3 shirts. So a rate is a ratio. It's just that the two parts of the ratio have different units. A unit rate is a rate with a denominator of 1. So we found the unit rate in our first problem. Instead of 405 copies per 9 minutes, we figured out that that meant the machine could print 45 copies in 1 minute. So a unit rate is like how much for just 1? We know 405 copies can be made in 9 minutes, but how many copies for just 1 minute? See, and now my denominator is 1. For our example of $45 for 3 shirts, I would want to figure out, well, how much does it cost for just 1 shirt? How much does it cost for just 1 shirt? So we need to divide this fraction or simplify this fraction so that we can figure out how much does only 1 shirt cost. Well, to simplify this, you would divide the top and bottom both by 3. 3 divided by 3 is 1. 45 divided by 3 is 15. So my unit rate is $15 per 1 shirt. Let's try an example with a unit rate. Okay, so This problem here says that a plane can fly 650 miles in 5 hours. What is the unit rate in miles per hour? Miles per hour means that when I set up my rate, I want the unit miles in the numerator per hour on the bottom. So right now, our rate is 650 miles in 5 hours. But I want to know the unit rate in miles per hour, so I want to know how fast can the plane go in just 1 hour. How many miles for just 1 hour? So to do this, we might have to simplify, well, we're going to have to simplify this fraction. To get from 5 hours to 1 hour, I have to divide by 5. 5 divided by 5 will give me 1, which means I also need to do 650 divided by 5. Now 650 divided by 5, if you don't know what that is off the top of your head, set up your long division on the side. I'm going to skip that part for now. 650 divided by 5 is 130, so my unit rate is 130 miles per hour. Let's try one more example. I'm going to skip down to a problem down here. Kendra can run 3 miles in 27 minutes. What is Kendra's running rate in minutes per mile? Minutes per mile means that when we set up our rate, we need to have minutes per mile. Well, right now, Kendra's rate is 27 minutes for 3 miles. We want to know her rate, her running rate in minutes per mile, so we want to know how fast can she run just 1 mile. If it takes 27 minutes to run 3 miles, how long will it take to run just 1 mile? And this one might be a little bit easier for you to divide. We see that we're going to be needing to do 27 divided by 3. We're simplifying by 3. Well, 27 divided by 3 is 9, which means Kendra can run 1 mile in 9 minutes, where it takes her 9 minutes to run 1 mile. That is her running rate in minutes per mile. So this question has a part 2, which says, how long would it take Kendra to run 20 miles? Well, we now know her unit rate, 9 minutes for 1 mile. Now the question we're being asked is, how long would it take Kendra to run 20 miles? So we want a rate to figure out how long it will take to run 20 miles. Now, of course, we need our rate to stay equivalent. So ask ourselves, how do we get from 1 mile to 20 miles? Well, we multiply by 20, which means up here in my numerator, to keep this rate equivalent, I would also have to multiply by 20. I would have to do 20 miles times 9 minutes per mile, which is 180 minutes. So it would take Kendra 180 minutes to run 20 miles. Thank you for watching this video on unit rates.